Cooler weather is just around the corner, but while the warm weather is still here, take advantage of our $49 total home comfort checkup from Premier Heating and Air. Premier Heating and Air is a locally owned and operated company. Log on to premierishere.com and experience the Premier difference today.
Hello, football fans, and welcome to this week's Coach's Show. I'm your host, Michael Maffitt, here with Coach Bruce Lane. And, Coach, we ended our season this past week here at the Cleve. We had been on the road a lot through the month of October, but the last two home games were at home. We had Robert Toombs. It was senior night. It was great to see the stands packed. Trinity always does a really good job, especially with support. And senior night was no different. We had senior night for both football team, and we did all the fall sports. So again, great night to be a Crusader, great night to be out here so we can pay attention to these young men who have spent a lot of time in the program. But we played Robert Toombs. I'm sure everybody knows at home injuries have decimated this football team. But that did not mean that we did not play with heart and drive, and that's exactly what we saw. We did come up short, but all in all, I thought it was a really good night.
Well, I was very proud of our kids. And again, you mentioned our seniors. I was proud of our seniors, and, 4 of our 6 were able to play, and, feel really badly for Wade and Jacob that they didn't. But our others performed really well and gave a great effort. But, if you go back and we dissected the tape over the weekend, you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not going to beat anybody. And most of and I include in that the onside kick that they covered, we weren't in position, and we'll take, responsibility for that and make sure we have that covered going out. But, that goal line stand in the second half was really one of the, reminds me of what happened down at Edmund Burke. And it wasn't like it was against their subs. I mean, they still had the big running back in there and the big quarterback in there. So that was kind of and I did think our kids played with a lot of heart and a lot of energy, especially in the second half. And, I have to put myself in their place, and, the mental aspect of the game, you have to be affected by the number of injuries we have. And then you have the turnovers, and but I thought our kids, we made some really good plays. Defensively, again, I thought we probably played our best game since Thomas Jefferson, and had some big plays. They took advantage of our, there was a possibility that, that could have been a 7-0 ball game at half if you take away the turnovers, or even 7-3. We got down there close and unfortunately had to use a timeout early in the first quarter. If we'd had that third timeout down there, I think things might have played out a little differently. But, at where we are and you look at it, we've had a total of 26 games missed by players this year. 7 kids have missed games, at least one. And, you've lost your starting quarterback, your backup quarterback who's doing a great job, your entire backfield, your linebacker core, your secondary, and, then we suffered. Charlie had a injury Friday night. Hopefully he's going to be ready for the playoffs. But and he played through it. He didn't let anybody know what was going on. And, you appreciate that, but you also want them to let you know when those kind of things happen so you can get them checked out. But
he did right after the game.
Yeah.
He, I don't think coming out was in the cards for him.
No, and that's kind of the thing that we've been really, proud of, is our kids just desire to finish. And, so overall, you have to be pleased with it. You have to measure success in different ways when you, I've been doing this 37 years as a head football coach, and I don't think I've ever seen this type of, you use the word decimated by injuries. And I think, it just, but our kids haven't quit, and, we appreciate that. But, it has been, I think I sent a little note to the parents, and I said, there are lots of highs, and then we've also dealt with some lows. And I think for me, the toughest thing, and you go back and look at some of these injuries, and it's like, how did they happen? They're just kind of fluke things. It's not like.
That's right.
So
the only really thing that happened this year that was, maybe you could justify the wet field that we played on down at Southland. Yeah, you could see some injuries coming from there. But you're right. You've dealt with both quantity and quality,
right?
Because of the people that you've had out. But speaking of quality, let's shift gears for a second and talk about quality. You did something at some point during the game, maybe the third quarter, that I had never seen happen before. I don't think it's probably ever happened at Trinity, but you presented the Under Armour jersey to Wade Register.
Right.
And it's my understanding that Wade is a Under Armour All-American, and I think there's only 100 of those kids nationwide. So that's quite an accomplishment for him, because I've said it for the longest time, he's a great athlete, but he's an even better kid.
Sure.
And kid I shouldn't use, I should say young man.
Right.
Because that's exactly what he is. But that was kind of neat that you were able to do that.
Well, he is, as I said, we had a little senior day presentation in pregame, and I said he is probably, without a doubt, the most decorated athlete I've ever coached. One of the top two overall I've ever coached, but he's earned that, and that is quite an honor. Those are things that going to be nationally televised, going to compete down. They used to do, there's two. There's the Army game that's in San Antonio, and then the Under Armour game. Those are two big national ones.
I think that one's in Orlando, maybe?
It's in Orlando this year, and that's quite an honor, and he'll be well by then and able to kick in it. So he's getting better, but again, he's a kid that's going to graduate early and enroll early, and he's got to get himself ready for the next chapter.
Right.
But that's not something that happens every day.
I had never seen it happen, and I've been involved in this program a long time, having two kids go through there, and there's certainly been some good athletes come through here, but that's something that we'll be able to hang on to out here for a long time.
Sure,
so,
absolutely.
All right, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll see the highlights from last week's game against Robert Toombs.
October is Rocktober here at Dublin Nissan. With savings up to $7,500, it's time to rock and roll in a new Rock Creek Pathfinder. If a Murano is more of your taste, we can save you up to $8,000. So come check out our great selection and pick one out. And with the only V6 in its class and a great selection, Dublin Nissan has the Frontier for you. We've got J.D. Power's #1 rated brand, and we've stacked them deep so we can sell them cheap. So now's the time to get to Dublin Nissan. And come see the Heisman, only at Dublin Nissan.
Friendly Gus is fuel good food. Whether you're grabbing a quick cup of coffee on your way to work or filling up for a big road trip, Friendly Gus will be there to make sure you have what you need. And with over 20 locations, a Friendly Gus store is always nearby. So stop by Friendly Gus today. And don't forget to shop Cochran Brothers Cash and Carry for all your bulk item needs. Come by today and see why Friendly Gus has been serving Middle Georgia for over 100 years.
Hello fans, Ben Knight for Farmers State Bank. Friday night football and Farmers State Bank. As easy as FSB. Dedication, hustle, trust, commitment, and teamwork. Giving our all every day, just as our local football teams do every Friday night. Join us at Farmers State Bank and support your local team. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
So we started off, we received and didn't do very much with it, and they got it back. That was a nice sack by our defense. Cody Register comes in, and that kicking runs in the family. He had several punts inside the 20 the other night. We've got them backed up, get a great pass rush. There's a fumble, and we don't quite get on it, but it's good coverage. downfield here. We're returning a punt. This is Tate Evans coming on into his own. Had a great ball game the other night. This is after a score. Here's Cody Register again, getting a good push and blocking the kick. Back on defense here. Got a rush by Braden Underwood, puts a little pressure on. He hangs it up. We end up getting an interception by Dash Preston. Back on offense here. Here's Braden Underwood again. Has a great, about a 16, 18-yard run. Unfortunately, he was injured on the play, but this was a good drive for us. Here's a nice pass from Griffin Lane to Hineshaw for about an 18-yard gain, and we were looking really good. We ended up throwing an interception down there. This is probably the best series of the night for us defensively. It was a 4-play goal line stand, and our defense, there's Austin Bryan, who played really well, Wade, who had probably, or Cody, who had probably about 13 to 18 tackles. There's Trip Mascaro and Andrew Helton. Here's another look at it. Come in on 4th down, force a fumble, and cover it up. Griffin Lane gets on top of it, so it's our football. And here's a new school record for us, a 99-yard run by Tate Evans, just running a simple zone play. Breaks a tackle at the point of attack, and then he's off to the races and is able to outrun the defenders, and we get on the board there offensively. Again, Cody Register, who has been our kicker since Wade went out, comes in and adds the extra point. And we're back on defense here. Again, nice play by Austin Bryan, who played a little outside linebacker for us last week as we faced some injuries. There's Cody Register again on a tackle for loss. So I thought we played really well in spots. We turned the ball over 5 times. This is Alec Preston on a 23-yard run, a freshman who's run the ball very effectively for us in the last few weeks. There's another tackle for loss by our defense there. So again, I thought we played well. Here's Austin coming back in on another tackle for loss. This is later in the game. They're running zone again, and there's a tackle right there by Cody.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 1.99% APR for up to 48 months.
Products you can count on, a name you can trust. That's Midstate Tractor and Equipment.
Since we were founded, the Houston Clinic has sought to provide the most advanced orthopedic services available to men, women, and children of all ages and all walks of life. And today, Dr. Gay and Dr. Richter continue the tradition of service in the Orange County communities. From our sports teams through every facet of this community, the Houston Clinic is not only proud to serve you, we deem it an honor. The Houston Clinic, 100 Medical Drive, Suite 400, in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Bobby McCarthy.
And I'm Kyle Gerard with A+ Flooring and Construction. We're here today to support all our local football teams. It takes teamwork to be successful. And here at A+ Flooring and Construction, our team is the greatest team there is.
And our team is here to serve you all over Middle Georgia, from Warner Robins to Macon to Statesboro, and we'd love to serve you.
So y'all come see us at both our locations, in Dublin or in Eastman, or give us a call. In Dublin at 478-676-2662, or you can call us in Eastman at 478-559-1280. We look forward to seeing you.
Come shop with us.
All right, welcome back. Again, those were the highlights, I think. You will see, just like we talked about earlier, the heart and the drive was there, and those kids never gave up, and that's a testament not only to them, but to you and your coaching staff. So, you know, sometimes I get to be a parent on this show, so this is where I would like to say thank you for everything that you guys have invested into these young men. But moving on, and we're fortunate enough to get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. It looks like we're scheduled to play Briarwood 2 weeks from now, but we have an off week. So what we'll do now is just walk us through what this week looks like. And I know you got some injuries. Some of these guys, a lot of these guys are season ending, so I don't know how many you'll get back. But just walk us through what you expect this week.
Well, one of the things that we're approaching it is kind of like, these are free practices for us, for our younger kids too. So, Monday we would watch film as a group and then kind of give them a day off. It's been a long season, so we watched film and sent them home. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be practice days in the afternoon. And we're really going to go back and focus more on the fundamental things, the things that you might try and do the first week of practice when you're not so amped up on game prep, but just go back and really work a lot of fundamentals with our kids. And we've already met as a staff and developed our game plan for next week. But we wanted to try and go back and focus on some things that maybe you don't have time to do when you're right. No, we work on that every week. It was just, but that is definitely an area. We'll go back and revisit all our special teams and revisit. That's kind of the thing when we meet on the weekends, and when you've had the number of injuries that we've faced, you have to kind of start and say, okay, can we put this guy here? Can we slide that guy there? What is going to get us the best opportunity to have some success? And, that's often been challenging, but I appreciate our assistant coaches and how hard they work on game prep and how hard they work in practice. And, we're really blessed to have, and I'm going to just mention them now, Christian Lane, obviously my son, but he's our defensive coordinator and he works really hard. And, I wish when I was that age I was as knowledgeable as he is, and he's really done a great job. And then we have Rob.
He had a good daddy.
Well, I hope so. But but Rob East has been our offensive coordinator, and that has got to be one of the toughest things, because defensively we've adapted, I think, fairly well, but offensively, when you lose all of those weapons, you have to really do some different things. And I think Rob has done a good job with that, and Ben has been really, really important over the last couple of years of developing a line of scrimmage on both sides of the football, and he's done a great job. And then we have Tyler Green, who has did a great job with our middle school, and now he and Jim Coleman, former athlete here, are working with us. Jim has worked, they both are kind of like our advanced scouts. They work a week ahead, so they've always got our film broken down for us. So, we're really blessed that, and that's the thing that we tell our kids is that, we're going to continue to work really hard, and we're going to coach the guys that are out there, and I think our coaches have done a really good job doing that.
I would agree with you 100%, no doubt. So speaking of younger classes, so you brought that up a while ago. Do you guys ever bring up the 8th grade class when you get to this stage, just so they can be introduced to practice for a couple of weeks?
I've done that in other places, but in smaller situations, and the way the school's athletic calendar falls, they're already working on middle school basketball and things like that. So for the most part, we haven't, but I'm excited about getting in there with those kids and those younger kids in the off season in the weight room and helping out in there and spending a little time with them there. And, great job. And I didn't mention Tim Traxler and his staff down in the elementary. And, this year, I think for the first year ever, and it may be different, but we also added a flag program down for our K4 through 2nd grade. So every student at Trinity had the opportunity to be part of our football program this year.
I did see that at halftime.
And I think that is a really, you look at the Valdostas and the Mary Persons, who was so great for so many years with Dan Pitts. You've got to have a feeder system, and I think that, we're appreciative of our feeder system and trying to get kids. It's good now when you go out on the playground and they're throwing a football around. during their free time. So that's, real, right. Well, I mean, they do other things, but they are throwing that football around, and we appreciate the fact that hopefully we're building and laying a foundation. And again, we mentioned this last week, this year's seniors and last year's seniors, when we get where we're going, they're going to be a main reason that we were able to get there because of their leadership and the foundation that they've laid.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure you know this at home, but I have a senior, so I was privy to a lot of what the coach was talking about earlier and what they did last week. And I can tell you without a doubt that Trinity is in the best place they've been in years out here. They have a path forward that is very promising. So we appreciate all the time.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, until next week, we'll see you where we will highlight the first playoff game against Briarwood. Thanks.
Georgia Pools is your authorized dealer of RecTech grills. From smoking to searing, RecTech grills do it all. So come into Georgia Pools today and grab life by the horns. We also carry all the Yeti products you could need: coolers, tumblers, cups, and more. Find all of this and more at Georgia Pools. Call 478-275-3607 today or come on in to 1201 Hillcrest Parkway in Dublin. Georgia Pools, your authorized RecTech dealer.
Hunting season is in, so come on down to Roach Farm and Garden. Tired of cold, wet, achy feet? Stop by Roach Farm and Garden and check out our supply of Georgia Boot, Ariat. We even carry Extra Tough. Wore out pants, overalls, hoodies, and vests, replace them with Carhartts and Wrangler from Roach Farm and Garden. Almost every color in stock. Doesn't matter if your college team is winning or losing. Roach Farm and Garden has game day flags and concrete statues of your favorite team. Tailgating, camping, or cooking at home, Roach Farm and Garden has got you covered with Bayou Classic Fridays, Blackstone Pit Boss Griddles, and Traeger Pellet Grills. While you waiting on supper cooking, Roach Farm and Garden has outdoor gliders, chairs, and furniture in stock. All shrubs, all bushes, all fruit trees, they're marked down 30%. So hurry down to Roach Farm and Garden while supplies last. Deer season is in full swing. Roach Farm and Garden carries roasted corn, soybeans, flavored corn, ADM, FRM, Godfrey, and Double Down deer feed. We even got tower stands arriving daily. Don't forget your Voodoo at the register. Voodoo, it just makes sense. From the woods to your home and everything in between, Roach Farm and Garden has got you covered. 2 locations, Dublin and Wrightsville.
Fairview Fitness Center, open 24/7 with staffed hours available every day. Fairview Fitness Center, serving our community for over 30 years. Push your fitness further with our gym facilities, fitness classes, freestyle areas, and more. Join today and see the benefits of a healthy life. All new members are provided with a complete health assessment upon request, and new members are provided with a fitness orientation to familiarize themselves with exercise equipment, all by one of our staff exercise physiologists. For more information, call 353-1900. Visit us at 200 Industrial Boulevard behind Fairview Hospital or log on to fairviewfitness.com.